Hello, what have we here?
You're wrong.
Damn! What the hell was that?
Game over, man. Game over.
You're wrong.
You finished?
Well, I didn't think you had it in you.
I'm your huckleberry.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, lemurs and squirrels, and welcome to the Week in Geek, a wholly owned subsidiary of Free Range Idiocy, wherein we, the idiots in question, present our midweek dose of geekery for you, the people. Sit back and relax as we scrape the best news we found off the bottom of the internet's shoe and let you know exactly how we feel about it. I am your Uncle Todd, as always, and with me, as always, is the lead editor-in-chief bottle washer of the Week in Geek. I give you the man, Big Ol' Tim.
The man has come around. The sleepless nights, the desperate calls, the empty road.
Did someone just goose you?
I'm spitting blood. I'm staring down a broken nose. I'm sick to death of standing in the bitter cold. They'll rue the day they let me hit a new low. 'Cause I'm no one's shadow. I felt the lights, and I'm not going back there. I talk to your ghost every night in my sleep, and I say, I'm through playing dead, man. I don't care. You can block the exits. I ain't flinching. B-side built me.
What the hell was that?
That was the new Becky Lynch entrance song, The Man.
Okay.
Whose lyrics I was reading. I was inspired last night.
All right.
As I was watching the event and said, ooh, there's a song that we haven't done the walk-in take on. So I decided to do that. But greetings and salutations, my friend. How are you?
I am doing quite well, sir. And how are you in your sriracha hot sauce T-shirt?
I'm doing well, sir. It has been a good weekend. It has been a quiet weekend. I've gotten some caught up on my sleep a little bit. Took a little cat nap here or there, and
I took a cat nap this afternoon. It was awesome.
Isn't it, dude? I'm telling you, man. Especially on Saturday, like Saturdays for me. I may have shared this already on the show, but man, they call Tim works out with Big Jimmy. And in Saturday mornings,
what Uso? Wait a minute, what?
No yeet.
How's he have time with Naomi and Netflix and chill?
Well, he stays busy. He has as many ventures apparently. And
irons in many fires.
Training
as it were.
my sorry ass is one of them. So, but no, Saturday morning is a workout morning for me. Get up early, have a nice 1.5 hour workout. But by God, and then I go and I run a bunch of errands, just in general. And then by noon, I am like the Walking Dead at that point. I'm like, I need a nap. It's like, gosh.
That's when you go and you set your crock pot.
Oh, my God.
You go take a nap while stuff is cooking for like 8 hours.
So, yeah, it was glorious. And then... we did a little celebrating last night. It was my youngest. It wasn't his birthday yesterday. It was actually a week ago. But with schedules and everything, we couldn't get everyone together. So until then, so we had dinner, which was nice. He got to open some presents, which he's now graduated into adulthood because he's getting all the boring stuff now. So clothes, crock pots,
nice.
That sort of stuff. It's been good. And then, of course, which we will talk in our Free Range IDC Friday episode, I took in the WrestlePalooza event now on my nice, shiny new ESPN Unlimited subscription that I have. So,
yeah, well, we'll have thoughts on that for Friday.
I did not go. I did not view by way of Montreal. So,
again, we will talk about that on Friday.
All right.
We getting in touch with my friends and Notre Dame.
Of course, the best part is hearing, dang it, the picture sucks. I'm like, of course it is. You're doing it from Montreal.
Maybe it was the cigarette smoke. I do not know. I do not know. I have no idea if people in Montreal smoke a lot or not. It just sounds much better.
But, sir, as we begin the Week in Geek, as
Yes.
we are a worldwide venture, if we are
We
nothing
are.
else.
We are.
And, we go coast to coast, pole to pole. And so, sir, we circumnavigate this globe.
I'm kind of feeling a little... I'd rather you don't refer to it as pole to pole.
What? It's North Pole to South Pole, is it not?
Okay, I'm just saying it could be misconstrued. That's all I'm saying. People
You're
would
the only
think that
one. You're the only one misconstruing.
people would
so.
think there's something going, a little on the racy side here too. But yes, we are an international podcast, so we like to start this off with greetings from wherever you are. This is to all our listeners and viewers out there in the world. So of course, we talk about stuff here in the U.S. So of course, that's usually the first one on our country's list. After that, though, we've got a couple of new ones, a couple of old friends here. Australia, United Kingdom, and Canada are the top three. Starting out there, we retained our one listener, I think, from South Korea.
Nice.
Germany is in there as well. New one here to the show, Mexico. We got some
very
folks
nice.
listening south of the border. Hola. And then we have Singapore, that great home of pirates, and apparently a badass airport. I was watching a YouTube video on the architecture of the Singapore airport. I was like,
Wow.
they're like 100 years in the future, dude. The rest of us are playing for second. And
That's kind of a random thing to put on YouTube, is the architecture of the airport in Singapore.
No, dude, it is amazing. It was
All right.
gorgeous, dude.
Wow.
Look it up. Like there's this water feature in the middle of like the terminal that essentially it's a waterfall, and I can't even do justice to it.
Yeah.
And then rounding out our list, Ukraine.
Wow.
So yeah.
Very nice.
We got a bunch of people from around the world. So greetings to you all. Thank you for tuning in, all the international members of the Free Range Idiocy congregation.
There we go.
What's next on the list, sir? Because you're driving the show after
Well,
that.
you know how it is. Tales from the Fantasy Gridiron, week number 3.
Oh, sweet dear God, deliver us. Okay, let's get this over.
So I went first last week. You, sir, are going first.
I know why I'm going first this week.
I'm
yeah.
fine.
So
This-
right
this
now,
is fine.
Yeah, fine. So this has changed again in the 5 minutes it took us from our pre-production meeting till now. I was originally projected to lose 201 to 184 to the team called Off to Grandma, not Off to Grandma's, Off to Grandma.
Okay.
Seems a little weird.
Okay.
So I was originally projected to lose 201 to 184. I'm now projected to win 174, but only now with a 1-point victory of 173. Who the hell knows what's going on here? Right now, I'm sitting at 126 against 157, but I have not. I have my quarterback, Lamar Jackson, going for me tomorrow night. Marvin Harrison Jr. again, continuing to disappoint. Debo was a bit of a disappointment today with 7 points. My man, Booty. What's another word for pirate's stolen treasure? Well, I think it's booty.
There it is.
Yeah, from New England. He only managed to get 4 points in spite of Drake May getting like half a century. I don't know how that worked. Saquon kind of let me down a little bit. He only got 26. He was projected to get 39. On the other hand, Kay Williams of the Los Angeles Rams exceeded expectations. He got me 38 when he's only projected for 28, so I'll take that. Good point. Good call getting Juwan Johnson off of waivers and putting him in a tight end spot. He got me 11 points. My kicker, my goodness, Joshua Carty. Oh my gosh, look at this dude. That is a dude who eats mayonnaise sandwiches, you can tell. 17 points for Carty, man. And then Green Bay got me 16 points on defense. So right now, sitting at 126. I really wish I'd played Drake May. Dude got 54 points. I also really wish that what's this guy's first name here? Matthew Golden, who has been terrible for me the first 3 weeks of the season.
The anti-golden.
And now this week he decides to actually score some points. So yeah, I wish I'd had him in the lineup. Other than that, no regrets. Everyone else, I will say this. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to say that. I'm going to let you go with yours, and then I will chime in one more time. So, how are you doing, sir? How is the best in the world doing right now?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. So, my team had a little bit of a rough spot.
Are you throwing a game here for mob purposes? Is that why you're doing fine?
A little bit of a rough spot for my team. Nothing to worry about. Here's what I am predicting. You are going to lose your match. We're going to both be 0-3 going into week 4. And then I will start my eventual rise back to the top.
Okay,
so,
ladies and gentlemen, what he is failing to mention here. I haven't
had a chance to talk about my team. Hold on.
He's like sinking like a stone right now.
I am fine, ladies and gentlemen.
You're fine.
I'm losing 202 to 90 right now.
Otherwise known as an old school prison pounding.
Yeah, okay.
It's just.
I hope you enjoy this. Enjoy it now, because when you're
thoroughly
facing
enjoying
it, I'm going to just lay into you, my friend.
You have.
I will show the same amount of mercy that is being shown to me.
You have.
I have not.
Yes, you have.
I have been very polite and understanding about your situation, and I think I've been a gentleman about it. But that's fine. I see how it is. I'm playing Peyton's Lazy Boy, the one of the undefeated teams in our league, my experiment with Jake Browning has led to the color of his last name that is indicated there.
It is a code Brown for your team right now.
It is a code Brown. So he is the backup quarterback for Cincinnati. He actually had a very good day last week, putting up 40-plus points. So I thought it was a no-brainer to go with him. He and T. Higgins hooked up a couple times last week for some points. However, that did not happen against a Minnesota team that must have been playing some solid defense from what I can tell from the score, because Minnesota won 48-10. Devontae Adams was solid with 14 fantasy points. Stephon Diggs, I think my experiment with Diggs is about to come to an end, because he had a paltry 5 points in the Patriots loss to the Steelers. I have from the Steelers, Jaylen Warren, my running back, put up a solid 30 points. Although I'm kicking myself because Omarion Hampton from the Los Angeles Chargers, who put up a paltry 11 points last week, decided to go house for 43 this week. And I had him on the bench, so I just sacrificed 13 points. But we'll see. I have faith that Derrick Henry will come back and have a career day tomorrow on Monday Night Football against the Detroit Lions. So basically, and then I cannot forget to talk about Cameron Dicker, the kicker. He has put up 12 points in almost an overtime game between LA and Denver. So all that totaled, and then Jake Browning only put up 27 points up against a Jalen Hurts who put up 59 fantasy points. So I'm quite in the debit on this one. The team, it's been a rough start. We got to find our rhythm. We got to find our rhythm, and we will. I have faith. I believe. Wait
a minute. So yes, he's at 202 right now.
Yes,
and he's still got 2 guys to go.
No, holy. He has 1 guy to go.
Oh, and Lamb was out. Okay, but still.
So yes, he's whooping on me, even though one of his wide receivers didn't show up to play. But that is why I am putting all my faith not only in Derrick Henry, but the man named Hollywood Brown is going to come through once again. I'm hoping I don't have the same result with a man with the name Brown in his last name.
I think it might be a streak.
Oh, well said, sir. Well said. So,
I'm
still best in the world. I just have to make some adjustments, and we will be back. This is a marathon, not a sprint.
So the one thing I would ask, as I tried to help here, folks. I actually did try to help him.
Oh, good God!
Can I interest you in some Geno Smith?
No,
46 points, sir, today.
You can interest me in Derek and Drake
May. Again, I don't think that you could match the asking price.
What's the asking price then?
The asking price would be Derrick Henry and one of your wide receivers.
You're going to give me Drake May, and you're going to demand that I give you not only my best running back,
Yes.
but one of my wide receivers as
Yes,
well.
because you're getting an average of 40 to 50 points a week.
You're
Yes.
getting almost 40 to 50 points with Derrick Henry. An argument could be
Have
made.
you?
An
Have
argument
you?
could be made.
He's had 46 and then 13.
The potential's there.
Like,
The potential's there.
yeah, just like the potential is there that I could have played in the NFL. But, that potential is real friggin' low. It's not even statistically measurable, but you could make the argument that it's there.
I call into question the idea that I would put two. Okay, and when you say a wide receiver, are you talking about a top wide receiver, or are you talking about like one of my backups?
I'll tell you what. I would go with Warren and a wide receiver. And we can discuss which wide receiver.
Again, are we talking about a top tier wide receiver, or are we talking like one of the bench guys who has the potential?
Well, the thing is, like, you look at all the projected points, and they're all kind of the same, even though we know there's a big difference between Devontae Adams and Hollywood Brown.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, I would be willing to listen to offers.
Okay.
So just something to think about. I'm trying to help.
Maybe if Hollywood has a big night tonight.
Help me to help you.
Maybe if Hollywood has a big night tonight, you'd be open to listening to a Hollywood Brown trade. Are you sure you don't want Jeff Goff from Detroit? He has been putting up 40-plus points. I just haven't started him. I don't know. That would be a one-for-one trade.
What, a quarterback? No.
Yeah.
No, I don't have a need at quarterback. I've got Drake May and Lamar Jackson.
I see how it is.
Or I'd have Lamar Jackson and Geno Smith if I were to trade you Drake May. But again, with Drake May, I am not, we're talking feeling the fiber of your fabric.
Don't hurt yourself on that one. We did it.
All right. What's up next? People are done with us with our fake football team.
Oh my gosh! Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is our Fantasy Gridiron Week 3 recap. Uncle Todd is poised for potential victory. I'm thinking that Lamar Jackson's going to stub his toe and not make it, and so the doomed will stay.
No, the toe is Joe Burrow's.
I know, like for like. I want to see the same injury happen to your guy.
Wow, I'm not wishing bad things on people.
I'm simply saying, I need you to stay with me at 0-3, so we're even. And then, once I have victory and leapfrog you, then all is well with the world.
Anyways, next.
Have I worn out my welcome?
Yes. About 10 minutes ago.
Oh, sweet Moses. All right. Well, from our friends at, let's see, what is this from? Yeah. Oh, Superhero. Let's start over that one. Superhero. Hey. Oh, hey. Superherohype.com.
There you go.
There we have it. A Avengers Doomsday rumor is exactly what MCU fans have been waiting to hear.
Oh, God.
And what rumor might this be? Is it something to do with, our good friend Deadpool showing up or not showing up? Is it got to do with Tony Stark and, Dr. Doom? Does it have to do with RDJ and the type of coffee he drinks? I don't know. But here it is, ladies and gentlemen.
I bet he drinks that coffee that's like, it's the beans that the jungle cats eat, then they poop out.
What?
You never heard of that?
No.
It's like one of the most expensive coffees in the world, and these jungle cats go and eat these coffee beans. It processes through their digestive system. They go and they find the cat poo and dig out the beans because the beans don't get broken up. So the beans come out whole. I'm assuming they give them a quick wash and then they grind them up for your drinking pleasure.
Well, hey.
Let me see if I can find this, but go ahead and do your rumor.
I was going to. I did not realize we were going to go down this road with this topic. I'm quite flummoxed by all of this. All right. Well, the rumor is that Avengers Doomsday will finally wrap filming at some point this week. That is the rumor.
I'm sorry. What?
It will wrap filming at some point this week.
That's the rumor. That's the big rumor.
That is the big rumor.
We are getting like in a world that is just devolving day by day. There's a friggin' dumpster fire on almost every single front. One of the lone things that I look forward to every day now. This is how low we've sunk. One of the highlights of my day is going on Instagram and seeing if Bowling Green's locker room cat, Pudge the cat, has a new post. That is like where I'm at now. And now you're telling me this is the big rumor that we have about Avengers Doomsday is it may wrap this week. It might not. That's it. Even our rumors are complete crap now.
I may have purposefully picked this to maybe get Uncle Todd a little fired up.
By the way, it's Kopi Luwak, also known as civet coffee, is a coffee that consists of partially digested coffee cherries which have been eaten and defecated by the Asian palm civet. The cherries are fermented as they pass through a civet's intestines, and after being defecated with other fecal matter, they are collected. These civets are increasingly caught in the wild and traded for this purpose.
Wow.
So there you go. So let's see here. How much would it cost for civet coffee?
I don't know.
Let's see here. Civet coffee. Price. Here we go. Let's see here. Genuine origin, organic, unroasted civet coffee. Oh my gosh! Now you're gonna take forever. No, that's not it.
I'd like to get through this rumor. We somehow got sidetracked.
Well, anyways,
onto...
it's showing this is like $482.30 for a bag.
Wow.
And there's another one that's about $450. So, yeah.
Well, that makes sense that the coffee bean that's valued the most is the one that was crapped out of a cat. So, okay. Well,
but anyways, this rumor is terrible. So is that it? That's the rumor.
That is the rumor. This would make sense if this rumor there was the belief from our friends at superherohype.com that this rumor is truth because when filming began in April of this year, it was originally predicted that it would go about 6 months, and we're just about at that 6 month mark. So,
wow. Really going out on a limb here.
I know, but for a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, the cast of this movie is quite vast. We have Pedro Pascal as, of course, Mr. Fantastic, Alan Cummings as Nightcrawler, and then we have Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, Anthony Mackie as Captain America, Sebastian Stan as Winter Soldier, Letitia Wright as Black Panther, Paul Rudd, Ant-Man, Wyatt Russell, the Chin, U.S. agent, baby. Tecnoc Huerta Meja as Namor. Namor, the Submariner, I believe. Yep. Ebon Moss-Bachrach as Ben Grimm. Let's see. Simu Liu as Shang-Chi. Yes. Shang-Chi's still out there. Somehow we haven't gotten any new Shang-Chi content in any way, shape, or form, which is sad.
Yeah, that was a great flick.
Because that was a great flick. Flo, of course. Frasier, Kelsey Grammer is coming back as Hank McCoy, ladies and gentlemen.
But I guess it's pretty much going to be like a voice only performance at this point because he's I think he's 70.
Yeah, dude. There's no way he's doing any of the stunts or whatever they have.
Yeah, I mean maybe some facial mocap. That's about it.
Yeah. Where was I? So I was on Lewis Pullman. Oh, we're gonna have Bob.
Nice.
As Sentry.
Now wait, is Pullman is that Bill Pullman's son?
That is my understanding. Yes.
Oh, okay, yes. Cool.
Danny Ramirez as the Falcon, Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, David Harbour as Red Guardian, Winston Duke as M'Baku, Hannah John Kamen as Ghost. Let's see. Tom Hiddleston will, of course, return as Loki. Patrick Stewart is going to be returning as Professor X. Ian McKellen as Magneto. Rebecca Romijn as Mystique. James Marsden as Cyclops. Channing Tatum as Remy LeBeau, don't you know? The Gambit. And Robert Downey Jr. as Victor Von Doom, also known as Dr. Doom. So that cast is... Just looking at this cast, I am not jealous of... the brothers there. What are their names?
Russo brothers.
The Russo brothers. How the heck do you put any sanity around all this? A lot of talent, a lot of story to tell.
Because some of them are going to be very transitional. You're not getting McKellen and Stewart long term like that. And in a way, I get it, but I would also honestly believe me, I love me some OG X-Men first two movies than the third one. Love Stewart in Logan. And I think McKellen's Magneto was fantastic. However, I do feel that McAvoy and Fassbender did a really good job of kind of reinvigorating those characters in the other, when they kind of went with a younger cast. I thought they did a really great job. They've got to be recasting those characters because there's no way. So I'm thinking those are going to be fairly quick appearances. And if they are, I could see both of those characters finding some sort of an end for that version of them, so that then we get different versions of them going forward. Same with Marsden. Maybe I don't know. I just don't see him continuing as Cyclops.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Avengers Doomsday arrives next December 18th, 2026. That's if we're all still here. But
put an asterisk next to that because things always be shifting.
They will. All right, moving right along from a Marvel rumor to a wrestling rumor, and I'm realizing I spelled his last name wrong, John Sen. I meant to say John Cena's last opponent. So from our friends at TJRWrestling.net, 7-time WWE champion.
Couldn't even afford the .com. Like, what the hell kind of operation is this?
I don't know. It's part of my portfolio, so just,
.org,
So the article coming from Suvangi Sen Chaduri. So
okay,
and this rumor pertains to the potential of Survivor Series setting up John Cena's last opponent as one Drew McIntyre. What are your thoughts on that, sir?
Don't love it.
No.
But then again, I'm very much in hate with John Cena's retirement tour at this point. And I get the argument of, I've seen some comments online, of course you have the people. It's like when you're looking at reviews of stuff, like sometimes you have to discount like the 5-star and the 1-stars because you're like, a lot of those 5 stars are probably bots and otherwise people who are just like way over the top company people, and the 1-stars are people who are just unreasonably, hating life and everything in it. So you're kind of looking at mid-range, and I've heard a couple people, like sort of like me, who are just like, I just don't get this. And then people are like, oh, well, people complaining about, it's multi-chapter storytelling, but I don't like the first chapter, so therefore this whole thing sucks. I'm like, nah, dude, we're like 75% of the way through the year here. It's fair to say like we're in a bit of a hole at this point. So I'm not enamored with this. So I mean, honestly, I don't. You've gotten me to a point where I don't even care who his last opponent is because I'm pretty sure it's not going to be anything like what we were hoping for. And it's not that I don't think Drew would be a worthy opponent. I really don't know if Cena and Drew McIntyre have any history. And I honestly don't really care. I bet it would still be a good match because I think Drew is a really good worker, and he's a guy in a way like it would make sense because it's one of the issues that has been with the John Cena retirement tour is by making it have to fit into the narrative, the overall narrative of what's going on in WWE. You have hamstrung yourself to such a degree because the dude ain't around most of the time. You only have but so many appearances. So most of the time when he's been having these stories, it's his opponent that is having to sell it to like an empty side of the ring because Cena ain't there. Drew is a guy who I think actually can do that. Like he can use the absence of someone almost as effectively as if the person who's standing in front of him, just by the kind of this version of his character that he's created, which is great. So it makes sense in that case. I think at this point, like, unfortunately, we've gotten to the point where I'm just waiting for Cena's retirement to come and go so we can kind of move on to whatever the next phase of things is. Like I'm literally at a point with WWE where I'm like, I hope that, yes, this is Roman Reigns last year and that he's done after this. Yes, I'm waiting for John Cena to go. I just want to get to what's next because I feel like everything else is being mismanaged. It's like literally gotten me to the point of like, okay, let's just clear out the deadwood. Let's just get through these things and then get on to what's next.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that kind of sucks because I feel like there was an opportunity here with John Cena's retirement tour to essentially like almost do like what Cody Rhodes did when he went on the Indies and have his list of people that he wants to have matches with
Mm-hmm.
and then just do those matches. I think you could have done that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I mean, I can't speak for every fan, but I think a lot of fans would have been fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
Just because John Cena is so big in the business that he could have milked that for 6 to 7 months with no storyline. Just John showing up and being like, "Hey, I want a match with you one more time for respect or whatever." And then maybe you drag him into a storyline towards the end and then we get something there. But I mean, by trying to put him in this position and to be one of the overarching stories in the company and have him be there like 30% of the time, and then bungling it
Mm-hmm.
in the manner that they have, it's been like you've literally gotten me to the point where you could tell me we're going to resurrect, you know, Macho Man Randy Savage. We're going to Jurassic Park this sumbitch, and we've got some DNA from a tissue that we found of him, and we're going to grow Macho Man in a lab, and he'll be ready for December. I don't care.
Okay.
I mean, if I had to watch that match,
May I rebut?
Fine. Yeah, please, because I've spoken enough.
So just following up on an item in the article, where it's pulling this rumor from is the idea of at Survivor Series, if WWE sets up basically, now they're calling it Team Lesnar versus Team Cena, but what I think and where I think this will go, we can get more into this on our Friday episode, is I think it's going to be more about, you know, the vision versus who, you know, kind of the amalgamation of a few different folks who have beef with the vision. And I have seen, and I'm kind of curious if it's going to be the first time we see a War Games match where we have a lady involved.
It ain't going to happen.
Because it's going to be the vision with Becky Lynch and Brock Lesnar versus Punk, Rhodes, LA Knight. There's a couple others in there I'm missing. AJ Lee was going to be one of them. John Cena. And so
how many in a War Games match? I thought it was 5. Is it 5 or 6?
Yeah, so it's 5 on 5. Yeah.
Well, then
it's
you
5.
wouldn't. Oh yeah, you would. That's right.
I agree. I don't know how
really,
you would work one woman on each team in, because how they don't get caught in the crossfire, I don't know.
Well, the thing is, it's not even a woman. It's those women.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to besmirch Becky Lynch or AJ Lee. The fact is, like, neither one of them are young in the biz.
Mm-hmm.
They've, especially AJ Lee. AJ Lee's been around a while and has had a 10-year layoff. And Becky Lynch is not a spring chicken in this business. And hey, she still goes out there and does it and is working full time. God bless. Good for her.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact is, they both have that strike against them. And and the other thing is, neither one of them are physically imposing. They're like neither one of them can physically really truly go one-on-one with anyone except like maybe Rey Mysterio.
Right.
Like luchador size.
Right.
You can't put them in the same ring as like Cena and Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, Brock Lesnar. Like, bad things are going to happen, man. Like, and either that or it's going to be so like gamed to, especially in a cage match where you have to have them off in one corner doing their own thing. Like, I just don't see how that works.
Anyways,
can you think of it?
I didn't want to get too far down this road.
My apologies.
So my only point is that's kind of the rumor going on right now. So the idea here is if McIntyre ends up as part of that heel team, that they can create a story from that where McIntyre and Cena's on the other side of it on the babyface team. That is potentially where they could create, you know, a reason or a story for a Cena McIntyre as the final match. Now, I don't. After watching like when I first read this, and the reason I included it, this is before I saw the event last night, was because I thought it was kind of interesting with McIntyre, and is this a way for, McIntyre to get, not that McIntyre's in need of a rub, but it's like one of those things like, being the guy who, in a way puts John Cena away or beats him in his last match. I thought would be kind of an interesting moniker for him to carry and something he could bring into 2026 in terms of whatever he's going to do. However, having seen what they did with Brock Lesnar and Cena, which again, I don't want to go deep on because we're going to do that in the next episode.
Correct.
I am almost wondering if we're headed for a trilogy. And again, it's way too soon because they did this with Rhodes and Lesnar 2 years ago. But I'm wondering if we're headed toward a trilogy of matches where we just saw Cena get his tail kicked. He wants to get another shot at Lesnar where he barely pulls off a victory. And then it builds to a rubber match, which is his last match, where he finally definitively gets one over on Lesnar as the way he closes his career. The one guy who has basically put the hurt on him time and time and time and time again.
He's only got one victory on him.
Right. And so that to me is a compelling story, and that to me could be a very interesting story to tell heading into his last match that I don't really see existing with anyone else right now.
I agree.
So
it's the best of what's left.
I disagree with this McIntyre idea. I think it's interesting, but to your point, and we'll get to this because I really am starting to really believe that the success and the ability for events and for matches to really shine is very, and this is an obvious thing I'm going to say, but yet we see matches that don't have this, is you've got to have the compelling story behind it. And if you don't have the compelling story behind it, which I think McIntyre actually suffered from recently with this Cody Rhodes angle that happened, because the match they had last night, I think in some ways suffered from the lack of story. And again, we'll get into that on Friday, but
yes,
to me, if you're going to make Cena's final months with the company as a performer mean something, I think it would be interesting for him to have this trilogy of matches with Lesnar and have it be that story of him really truly overcoming what seems to be unconquerable. And basically putting Lesnar away for that final match. So that's where my vote is at this stage. I wouldn't have guessed this a month ago or even 2 months ago because Lesnar wasn't even on the radar. And quite honestly, we did talk about this a couple months ago, and I was struggling to think what would be a compelling last match for him. You know what I mean? Like, especially once they did the thing where Cody got the belt back. I thought maybe it would be him and Cody for that last match where he finally, beats him. And then, maybe that's when Cena kind of sees the light and, he comes back to being, babyface Cena or whatever. But honestly, because he's almost a victim of the situation he's in. There's no compelling Cena.
Okay.
And I say it that way because what compelling stories does he have with anyone? If you need a good story to build up to a match, and Cena has really been a part-time, almost, non-factor in the last 3 to 4 years. Like, he just shows up every now and then.
He's been a jobber to the stars for the last couple times he's been around.
He's lost to Solo. He lost to Austin Theory. He really hasn't had anything meaningful in the last 5 years. So it's like, who are you? Like, now's not the time to start building the story because you're kind of on the way out. So he's almost like a victim of the circumstance he's in because he's doing this retirement tour.
He's a victim of bad booking. And I feel like that qualifies as a circumstance, but I feel like it's much more of an honest appraisal. Like, it's bad booking.
It's hard for me to go with that though.
But how do you explain, okay, we're going to have him sell his soul to The Rock, and then we never hear about that again? That is a decision that is not John Cena's.
That I would agree with.
That's a creative. Then you're gonna not even gonna bring The Rock out. You're gonna have Travis Scott come out, who can't wrestle.
Right.
Can't wrestle. He's as big around as John Cena's wrist.
It's not about whether he even can wrestle or not. He's a non-factor in their plans. Why would you bring someone out who's a non-factor in your plans? Is really where you're going with this.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. He doesn't mean anything.
Right.
And then you decide like, oh, and Cena. Then he sees the light. He doesn't see the light after going through, because we all know this is soap opera. It's story that is based around combat inside the ring, and it's kind of ridiculous, but hey, what else isn't besides like, all the other made up crap on TV? Like, it's all fiction, folks. And he doesn't see the light after like going through this epic match with Cody and Cody making him either tap out or whatever. Because how many times has John Cena actually tapped out in a match? That to me would have been compelling. Like Cody Rhodes making John Cena tap, and then afterwards Cody like that clicks for John Cena. Like, I have lost myself. Like, then I buy it. But no, he just on a random ass Friday was like, I was wrong. I'm like, all of those things are creative and booking decisions that put you in this position of like, well, why should I care about this? Like, you just. Anyways,
I guess where I disagree is that I think I agree with you. The way they executed the heel turn and then the babyface turn back could have been better and could have been done with relevant characters as opposed to people who were there and then disappeared. So 100% agree with you on that. But setting that aside, the trajectory that Cena has been on this year, I am hard pressed to think of a way that they could have done it, and maybe this is an episode for another time. Like how would we have booked Cena, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: if they didn't do the heel turn, then all of the matches that he would have had this year would have been basically all built on just what's the term is escaping me, but when you build something off of the past memories.
It's nostalgia.
Nostalgia.
But
they're all going to be nostalgia matches, right?
But just let me interject.
Well, I'm trying to make my point here.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead then.
So they're all mostly going to be nostalgia matches. So you go with this heel turn, something that's never been done, something that puts him into a very different state than the fans have seen before.
Correct.
Which you and I both were like, what the hell are they thinking, right? Like it's funny how we've kind of come almost full circle with this across this year, because we looked at it like, what are they doing? Because he's only got like a few months to reason this out before he's done, right? And yet it was interesting because you got to see him go against Orton, you got to see him go against Punk, you got to see him go against. You're still getting those nostalgia matches, but you're getting them from a different angle now. Like, it was never Cena as a heel versus Punk. It was never Cena as a heel versus Orton. It was always the other way around. And so we got this different flavor of these matches that was new and different, even though they were nostalgia matches. And now you're coming to the end of the run. Like, what I think would have worked best with his babyface turn back would have been, like you just described, that maybe it's more of a realization across that SummerSlam match. Like, he comes in as the heel, but during the match, he's almost like won over by Cody in terms of the valor, in terms of the hustle, loyalty, and respect sort of aspect of things, that by the time he's done and beaten, that he has those opportunities to, give him the nut shot, and he doesn't do it. He actually goes back to fighting in a more honorable, like he's transitioning as the match goes.
So in other words, you would have booked it differently.
I would have booked it differently. Like you're saying. So
it's booking decisions.
Part of it is, yes.
Okay.
I not 100% saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that I don't, I think the way they're trying to create stories that are compelling for the matches he's having is, I appreciate what they're trying to do there, because I think, like other things that Cena's done before, like when they did the year-long build-up to WrestleMania with The Rock, and that sort of thing. They do these things that have never been seen or done before, and I just feel like they've tried to navigate it in some ways as best they could to make these compelling stories, so it's not just a nostalgia tour. And so here we are on the tail end of it, and we could be totally wrong and they just throw, Gunther at him because Gunther retired Goldberg and now he's going to be the retirer of, the Legends or whatever. But I really, I think, I kind of hope what they're going to do with, this idea of what they do with Lesnar. Maybe it's not a trilogy of matches. Maybe, he goes to Survivor Series and he ends up getting one over on Lesnar. And that's what kind of, kicks us into this gear of, okay, my last match is going to be against him again. And this is it. Like, if I lose, that's how I'm going out. I'm going out on my shield.
Yep.
But if I win, I will have won conquering this one person who I've just never seemed to have been able to conquer on some, regular basis. And so to me, that would be a more satisfying end, I think, to his run. And I think it would put a nice bow on the whole thing. But yes, to your point, they have made some poor decisions in how they've executed aspects of it. But I think the overall arc they took him on, I think was, looking back on it now, I think was probably the best.
I think the concept of the arc was the best. I think that the execution of it was terrible, and
okay, I can be on board with that. Yeah,
I think as someone who's in the creative field and someone who's in technological and creative field like yourself, we both know execution is a humongous part. Like, your idea is great. If you can't execute on the idea, it kind of ends up being dog poo. So my thought process in this is, when I say like it could have existed outside of the storylines of the WWE, and I don't want to go too far into this, but like the fact is, like, doing a retirement tour is nostalgia. It's all nostalgia. It's not like John has been a full. It's not like if Seth Rollins announced 2026 is my last year. You get my last chance. And freaking his voice, it drives me nuts.
Good Lord.
It's like if somebody took my cat like by the neck and by the tail, it's saying like, not that I would recommend doing that to my cat or anyone's cat. Anyways, but it's not like if someone like that were to retire. John has been gone for a long time and a part-timer hither and yon. It is 100% nostalgia. It is 100% him wanting to do this thing and WWE going, yeah, we can make some money off of that. Come on back. Fine. And I think that people are smart enough to understand that. So saying like it's nostalgia, yes. And I think that you can ride that, especially for the number of appearances that he's doing. And you can just say it's nostalgia. Hey, here's a bunch of matches, and basically make them a series of exhibition bouts or friendlies for those of you who watch Premier League soccer, or I guess, football of any kind. But like, it's just matches to have a match. And I think that could work. I really do. And that is something that nobody has ever done. And maybe you could make it a little more antagonistic in some cases. In other cases, it's just we're having a match to have a match, and it's for our pride. That's why we're actually going to still go hard at this. But I think that could have worked. And it could have easily been, here's a way that we do this, and everybody feels good, and we don't have to try to insert John into a major feud and try and figure out how to make this mechanically work with somebody who is only there a third of the time. Because it's not even like he's part-time, like a halftime player. Like, he is literally only there like a third of the dates through this year. That, to me, is the easier way to do this. And I think it gives you just the same kind of pop. As now, the idea that, we're going to turn him heel, it's going to be this and that. And yeah. Okay, great. But you better have a better way of executing it than this. Especially for a room full of people in the creative confines of the WWE, where you're dealing with Triple H, Bruce Pritchard, Michael Hayes, and that's just the top 3 or 4, not to mention all of the other guys who've been there for 5, 6 years, 10 years now. You have decades. You have literally over 100 years collectively, I'm guessing, of experience in professional wrestling. And this is how you map it out and plan to execute it, unless somebody from TKO makes a call on the big red phone and says, hey, kill it. Like, if this was the actual plan, I can't imagine that the pitch to John Cena was, hey, we want to bring you back, and we're going to have you turn heel on the whim of The Rock, and then The Rock is never going to be seen again. His lackey will be there once, but otherwise then it's going to be you, and then you're going to randomly on a Friday night decide that you're a good guy again, and then we're going to have Brock Lesnar come back and completely squash you like you're the Brooklyn Brawler, and maybe we'll get you a happy ending. I can't imagine that John Cena is going, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Like, I'm imagining there were better plans in this. And for some reason, that's the thing that's baffling to me, is there's a lot of experience. This isn't Tony Khan, who's just gotten his own company 5 years ago. Like, these guys have been doing this for an awfully long time. And to botch this in this way is kind of amazing to me. Like, in a way, like, I feel like this is going to be one of those things. Like, if there was a wrestling academy and please, dear God, let Uncle Corny be the headmaster of said wrestling academy. Please, if there's any justice in this world, this will be an entire masterclass in what not to do. So all that to say, like, I think it could have worked as a nostalgia act. And I agree. I think we're at a point now where a trilogy of matches with Brock Lesnar, that's the best of what you got. Which, of course, means that we probably will wind up with him going against Drew McIntyre or Gunther on like a week and a half build, because I am that much of a cynical bastard right now. I hate myself.
So who are you going with for his last match? I'm going with Lesnar. I think Lesnar would be a good fight.
I mean, at this point, I hope it's Lesnar. If not, yeah, I guess I'll watch a match with Drew. At this point, Shane Helms will probably return as the Hurricane, and we'll get that as the go home for him.
He could.
Watch out, everyone! There's a hurricane coming.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, I need to take a 30-second break because I think I need to use the bathroom and throw up.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Righty then.
A few moments later.
All right. What is up next, sir?
I'm going to skip over the third one because we went a little long on the John Cena one. That was
we keep kicking this can down the road. There'll be a sequel to this movie.
So, no, this is about the Disney Plus stuff. So we're going to skip that. So Dune 3. Let's see. Let me skip past this. So from our friends at MovieWeb.com, Dune 3 is already improving on the first two sci-fi blockbusters in a crucial way. The long and the short of this is basically that Dune 1, Part 1 and Part 2, I'm just trying to find the name of the individual, was, let's see, the production film, the cinematography. So the person in charge of the cinematography, I guess, was Greg Fraser, or Grieg Fraser. And apparently in his production of the first two movies, he leveraged quite heavily what is called stagecraft, or, the other name for that is the volume, which we are familiar with. But he leveraged that quite a bit in the making of those first two movies. Now, for Part 3 of Dune, Fraser will not be available to work on the cinematography, and so they are shifting to I'm trying to find his name. Someone else. Let's see. What's his name? 1 second. I see his last name, Sandgren. I can't find his first name. Where is his mention here?
Never heard of the guy or gal.
1 second.
But I'm assuming it constitutes an upgrade.
All right, so it looks like Fraser may have departed the project. His replacement has led to a key exciting change. New cinematographer Linus Sandgren will be shooting on film. So the idea here is he is going to be, as he shoots this movie, he's going to be doing it more on traditional film. And there was something else. Sorry, I didn't run this through AI to summarize it. So. Let's see.
Is that like kind of the big hinge point? Like it's going to be film instead of digital?
Here's the point of the article, which I do find kind of interesting, is so Sandgren's work has been shot on film, usually because the thematic content of the movie is reinforced by the format. So while the first two movies had expertly showcased Paul Atreides' rise to power, The third film will likely explore the cost of hero worship and the consequences of making himself a messianic figure. By being shot on film, the movie could evoke the powerful imagery of one of cinema's greatest epics, David Lean's 1962 masterpiece, Lawrence of Arabia. So I think what the point here is that potentially the cinematography shifting from being very digitally refined in its processing through the volume, that shooting on film and giving it more of a traditional look may play into the overall tone and texture of this next movie, which will deal with some themes around the cost of Atreides' decisions and his rise to power, which I hadn't really ever thought of before. I thought that was kind of interesting. So
I'm curious to hear what you think about this, because as you said, either in one of our shows last week or during one of our in-between sessions, how you and your wife like to watch like all the Best Picture nominees each year. So, I mean, I think you would probably actually have a better take on this than I do, because I don't really think that much about whether something was shot film or digitally. I mean, the first two Dune movies look pretty damn good to me, and had a very epic sweep. So
yeah, and honestly, like if you had asked me to guess if parts 1 and 2 had been filmed with the volume, I probably would have said no, because it just, everything had a very realistic look to it, and very just it just seemed like it had been more naturally shot. I didn't really get the sense that it was digitally produced like that, but apparently it was. So I'm probably not the right person to ask, because even if they shoot it on film, I don't know that I have an eye to notice the difference. You know what I mean? So I don't know if this is more for film geeks than anything else, like just having that sort of eye for it. I mean, I'm all for, like when we've watched, trying to think, because I know for Mandalorian they used the volume. For Andor. I don't think they used the volume for Andor, and I think one of the things I really enjoyed about it was, the natural look of the scenery that they would shoot in. That I think, I think specifically from season 1, the 3 episodes around the heist was really interesting when they're on that planet where there's still a remnant of this group of this people that had inhabited the planet for quite some time, but had been displaced by the Empire. And it had a lot of it reminded me a lot of Lord of the Rings a little bit. There were a lot of like green hills and valleys, and it just had a very natural look to it. And the ships, when you see Luthen's ship after his landed there and stuff like that, I mean, that had a very kind of natural look to it. And so I've actually found myself gravitating back to that more realistic, use actual props. We talked a few episodes ago about how in this Mandalorian and Grogu movie that they're going to be, they actually built out a full size AT-AT for shots that they're doing for the movie, and I'm excited to see what that looks like. That it's not going to be this, computer synthesized version of it. It's going to be an actual being shot around a model of a life-size model of what it actually would look like. So
I just had a thought that I remembered I wanted to mention when we talked about that. Wouldn't it be awesome if they went full, just like, if is Favreau directing it or is it Filoni?
Mando and Grogu?
Yeah.
It's Favreau.
Wouldn't it be awesome if he just decided, I am going to go full Wes Anderson for one scene, and you get like the full AT-AT, and it's like in one part, but then they show you the whole thing and all the things happening like it's a cutaway. I would so love that, just for a moment, be like, aha, thank you. One thing I just did want to mention as well, I just looked this up while you were talking because I was curious myself. Andor was actually shot digitally, but it was using real practical sets and locations.
Oh, so it wasn't shot on film; it was shot digitally.
No,
but it was using real location. Okay,
correct.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that was the volume doesn't necessarily mean. I think,
I'm the wrong person to ask about this. Crap,
well,
honestly.
no, because I think it's one of those deals where it kind of it actually is a good way to kind of bring to light like just how into the weeds you can get with this stuff, because there's like, oh well, if it's not on film, it's crap. And Quentin Tarantino is one of those cats. Like he hates digital, or has not been a big fan of digital, and yet a guy who, one of his buddies, Robert Rodriguez, as soon as he could shoot digitally, man, he was all about it, because he's like, I can now turn any shot into an effects shot because it's all digital. It's all right there. It's already processed. It's ready.
Yeah.
And it's so quick and easy. And what you have to do is, I think with either one of them, you have to learn how to use the media to its maximum and learn the pluses and minuses and how to accentuate the positive and hide the negative.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I think it's, I mean, yeah, it's cool, but I'm kind of with you. Like, I wouldn't have known.
And I've never seen Lawrence of Arabia myself, so I don't know what really they're referring to. I mean, it's on my list. The paragraph after is basically says a dramatization of the life of T.E. Lawrence in his book Seven Pillars of Wisdom. The movie Lawrence of Arabia is considered to be one of the best ever made. It depicts Lawrence's growing disillusionment with war and power in a way that inspired how Villanueva would make the Dune film, something that the filmmaker himself confirmed. And so it goes on to say, filmed with Super Panavision 70 millimeter, Lawrence of Arabia could serve as an even more compelling visual reference now that Dune Part 3 will also be shot on celluloid. So, and if I'm not mistaken, Lawrence of Arabia also takes place, or some of the setting is in a desert, which, Arrakis is. And so it is kind of interesting, if that gives a certain, it feels like visually it's going to give the film a certain feel that matches the tone of the story. But, honestly, like I'm not big into film, like the technical aspects of film and, what does it look, what does it mean filming on film versus digital and that sort of thing. So I'm taking their word for it here. I'm like, great. Honestly, I'm in the bag for whatever helps convey, the story and the theme of the themes around the story. I mean, if shooting on film adds to the texture and the tone of what they're trying to, tell from that story, then great, go do it. As long as I can't tell, I mean, as long as a boom mic doesn't come down in frame while I'm watching, I'm like, then I'm good. I'm good with the entertainment that way. You know what I mean?
I think it comes down to whether you can use, it's a tool, and it's whether you can use those tools or not.
Fair enough.
You can hand somebody $1 billion IMAX camera or, an iPhone, and if they're a really good storyteller and understand what they're working with, they're going to give you something good. And you give a Chucklehead the most expensive camera in the world, and it could look absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
All and that to say, I hope it looks good.
And same here. And by the way, the story we skipped, to be perfectly honest with you, had to do with fans who are upset at the Disney Plus for omitting a version of the Thunderbolts movie. It's the IMAX version, apparently, which I think is just kind of a ridiculous thing to be upset about, because it's like, I get there's some scenes that might be in the IMAX and aren't in the other one, but it's like, at the end of the day, who gives it?
Well, I do, in a way, because this is one of the problems I have, and one of the reasons why I am now looking more at like getting actual physical media for things that I really like.
All right.
Because
should I save this for another Week in Geek then?
Well, no,
you clearly have thoughts, and we're already over time here. So I want to.
It's a very brief thought, because it's like, if you're streaming and everything is digital storage, like, how come I'm not getting the director's commentary track? How come I'm not getting this? How come I'm not getting that? I'm paying you monthly for this. Like, it's not like you're paying billions of dollars to store an extra couple of bytes here and there, or a couple extra gigs. Like, give me all of the stuff. You have it. You have access to it. How come I do not have access to it for the service that I am continually going into the hole for?
Yeah.
That's the thing that's frustrating to me with streaming right now. Like, that's why
they're going into the hole just giving you the movie. Like, that's not even to speak of all the extras. So,
well, true, but at the same time, like, this is also a point where I believe you could attract either that, or just like literally go on all streaming platforms like, hey, you don't get any extras. If you want the extra, go buy it on DVD or Blu-ray, or I think Blu-ray is actually getting sunset at this point, but like, buy it physically and make your money that way. Like, but it's one of those things where I get frustrated, because I'm like, at least if you're trying to make a buck, I'd respect that. But it feels like you're just incompetent, and I feel like I'm getting hosed.
Well, part of what this article gets into, maybe I'll count this as this covering.
I love how you come up with these details after I've already ranted that make me look like a complete idiot.
No. But the point
It's
of
perfect
the article,
because it's on brand.
The point of the article is by not including the IMAX release, it offers a channel that Disney can still make some money on in the theaters. Like the idea is, yeah, they're not opening the kimono 100% because they're only giving, just saying, because they're only offering,
Pole to pole and kimonos. Like, my goodness, sir.
The regular, what was shown in theaters.
Yeah.
And they're leaving the IMAX version as almost like a special attraction, which then in some ways justifies, maybe charging a little bit more for, or, it's kind of it's a feature that you can now lure people back to theaters for, because right now, quite honestly, it sounds like they're having a pretty hard time getting people just to go to theaters at this point. So you got to have a pretty damn compelling movie to get them into the theaters, and that's a struggle at best right now for them. So.
Granted, and again, I aim a lot of that
going on over there.
Yeah, I've got it's Main Street, man. I blame that a lot on the people who are doing this and running the business. Like, they're kind of like, well, you can't get this. Like, well, dude, you're kind of like going willy-nilly in every different direction, and your business plan seems to kind of suck. So I don't know that I feel all that bad for you. Hoping you'll get by, because I like movies, but I also don't want to go and pay like $30 to sit my butt in a seat that, someone spilled a Diet Coke in an hour and a half ago, and, watch a movie that the speakers might be half blown out in the theater, like subpar experience. So how about we start picking things up a little bit here? But anyways, I can see that ruffling feathers, but I also see it as like, if you're this bent out of shape about it, then just try and find physical media and start supporting that. And hopefully people wake up to that and be like, hey, maybe we ought to print more DVDs. Maybe we ought to come up with a better HD format for this, because people are going back to it. I don't know. That's where I'm heading, though, because I'm kind of getting sick of like all the streaming stuff going away and not getting a lot of these features that I happen to enjoy.
Fair enough.
There you have it.
That, my friends, is your neat and tidy with Uncle Todd stretching it out Week in Geek.
What do you got for another thing? A recommendation for our viewers and listeners, sir?
Over the weekend, or Friday night to be specific, decided to, because it's actually on its way out of moving off of Netflix, is the film Now You See Me, which is, I believe, from 2013, 2014. So once again, the man they call Tim, staying recent and hip in with what is in fashion for entertainment. And here we are, the year of our Lord 2025. Hip and happening. That is me. And so, it was a very entertaining flick. It has Mark Ruffalo, Jesse Eisenberg, I think his name is.
Okay.
Is it Jesse? Oh, hold on. Let me look it up. Now You See Me. Jesse Eisenberg, Mark Ruffalo, Woody Harrelson, Morgan Freeman, Dave Franco, Michael Caine, Isla Fisher. Michael Caine. And, it is great to see Michael Caine and Morgan Freeman together again, although they're not quite on the same side like they were in the Batman movies. But nonetheless, just a fun film based on, it's a little bit like Ocean's 11-ish with magic, an illusion, if you will. So, it was very good. There is a sequel, Now You See Me 2, I think is what it's called. Possibly.
Oh, yeah. Well, I feel like that came up on my suggestions or something, but it was like the sequel that came up. Like, I haven't seen the first one, Netflix.
And in
haven't you been paying attention?
2025, there's supposed to be a third movie coming out called Now You See Me, Now You Don't.
Oh, they got cheeky with the third one.
They did. So, so I'll recommend this to folks. It was a fun flick, and definitely check it out if you have not already. If you're like the man they call Tim, and you're just, 10 years behind the times in all ways, shapes, and forms, do check it out. You will not be disappointed. What is your and another thing, Seth?
My and another thing is the fine beverage that I've been enjoying this evening. This is Flocktoberfest, a festive lager.
What did you
say? Festive lager?
No, when you said Flocktoberfest, I thought it sounded like something else.
No. So this is
racy on the show here.
Hey. This balanced and malty lager is our take on a German classic, Proust. So
like how you had a little gusto on that.
Well, I can't let you have all the fun with your walking stuff.
Yeah, fair enough.
This is from Lucky Pigeon Brewing Company in Biddeford, Maine, and I am fully supportive of them because they are a dedicated gluten-free brewery, and I am dedicated gluten-free, so it kind of works out well. And I have been hoping for something along the lines of an Oktoberfest beer from them for a couple of years, and this is quite delightful. I'm not drinking it out of the stein that I got because they did have limited edition steins that they were selling as well. And of course, I went in and my wife is like, "Are you getting a stein?" I'm like, try and friggin' stop me. There's a reason why we hear it at 3:00 instead of prime time beverage hours here. I'm getting in early on this situation.
Mm-hmm.
But it is very good. It is very delightful. Kind of has a little bit of a little spiciness to the taste, which I'm appreciating. And it is still very light and crisp and inviting. So yeah, I recommend that if you are gluten-free. If you're not gluten-free, give it a try. You might just see how the other half lives. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our show for this week in Geek Wednesday. Thank you for all the members of the Free Range Idiocy congregation here in the US of A, as well as all of our friends around the world. We so appreciate you tuning in and listening. You can find all of our episodes at... here we go. See,
I just have a quick update. Just not to rain on Uncle Todd's parade, but the projections have been updated. He is now going to lose by 1 point.
And it'll go back and forth. This has just been the way it is. Seesawing around.
I just had to look. In the meantime, Hollywood Brown has now put up 50 fantasy points in the first quarter. I just want to let you all know.
Yeah,
I am well on my way back to victory, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I apologize. Continue.
That is horse pucky, if you will.
50 points. 50.
If you will. And so you can find us at all of the major podcast purveyors. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon, Podbean, all of the rest. You can go to freerangeidiocy.com to find our episodes individually and download them. Full video is available on our YouTube channel. That is youtube.com/@freerangeidiocy. And you can, of course, find us on the social medias of the aforementioned YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. All of those are at Free Range Idiocy. If you have any thoughts, questions, or concerns, send those to tim@freerangeidiocy.com. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let me hand this back over to the maven of the, you're not maven, although you do kind of share a hairstyle, of the Week in Geek. The man they call Tim. Take us home, sir.
To the interwebs, we say you suspect. We don't know what your reputation is in this town, but after what you tried to pull today, you can bet we're looking into you. But to our listenership, we say good day, ladies and gentlemen. And until that day comes, keep your ear to the grindstone.
You are worse. Now get the hell out of here!